Story in Men in History Entrepreneurs Series, Jeff Bezos today, and we hope you can get some value from his real words, real quotes, and apply that to your life or business or relationships. I think he's got a lot of wisdom. And of course, he is that garage guy, right? Jeff Bezos built a trillion-dollar company out of a garage he started. He had a lucrative position and job in a hedge fund. Quit it. What did he do? He had an idea. And originally he said he knew he had to try or he would regret it. Is there anything you regret not trying? Is there anything you can do today to not regret something? Anyway, he built Amazon. Started in a garage. He moved. He quit his job, moved, took the initiative, took action. Good virtues to have, taking the initiative. Moved. Did it out of a garage, rented a house, did it out of his garage with his wife and a small team. What was he doing? Online book sales. He came up with this idea and he did it. He executed it. What was it about? It was about the customer. His focus was the customer, the customer, the customer. 30 years old. Today, Amazon is worth over $2 trillion. He's worth over $220 billion. Pretty amazing story, right? And he chose books because they were easy to ship. Notice he picked something he could do. First quote, every big thing starts small. You don't need to have it all figured out at the beginning. We talk about this all the time. You can have a plan and a strategy and a vision, but you got to get going. You got to start. Take the initiative, take action. Because if you wait around for it to be perfect, you may never start and then you may have regrets, right? So start small with what you've got at the time. Whatever resources you have, get going. Next quote. Failure and invention are inseparable twins. He did not become complacent. He kept taking risk and experimenting. Imagine if Jeff Bezos had just been content with books and said, we're just going to do books and never expanded. He wouldn't be Amazon today. It wouldn't be Amazon today. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and like. We're going to have more entrepreneurial videos, and we do have some up. I'm not sure whether Jobs is up, Steve Jobs, or others. But Amazon has a culture. It's one of experimenting and taking risk. Advancing always like Patton, right? He's always moving forward. Amazon's moving forward, never complacent, moving ahead. What was important to him and his success? I think this is the quote that kind of defines the whole company. The most important single thing is to focus obsessively on whom? The customer. The customer, the customer, the customer. That was Jeff Bezos. And he has done that. My customer experience has been magnificent. I don't know what yours is. But think about the same day delivery, next day delivery, 2-day delivery. That's a pretty amazing accomplishment that he was able to pull the logistics together to accomplish that. And their sales are massive, and it paid off to focus on what? The customer. That experimentation, going to that experiment with Federal Express to do same-day delivery. So from the garage, what did he go on to? Music, Amazon Prime, Kindle, all this stuff that he went into, Amazon Web Services. Oberlo.com states e-commerce of U.S. sales reached $491.65 billion in 2024, capturing 40.4% of U.S. online retail. Amazon Web Services, launched in 2006, now generates $107.56 billion annually, holding 31% of the global cloud market. Amazing, right? Amazon is amazing. Amazon Prime, some estimate they have 250 million subscribers globally. Raked in $44.37 billion in 2024. Advertising soared to $56.21 billion, and it is growing 19% year over year. Recent estimates from Yagora.com on Amazon subs that it reached over 220 million. So let's get into some advice for entrepreneurs. Maybe you're trying to start a company. Let's see what Jeff Bezos has to say. He's done it, right? He has executed well, and he has created one of the biggest companies of all time. Day one mindset, Bezos says. Day two is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciating, painful decline, followed by death. And that is why it is always day one, Bezos at Amazon. That was from his 2016 Amazon shareholder letter. And what's he talking about there? Don't be complacent in your life, with your relationships, with your business, right? You can apply this to all areas of life, but don't be complacent with your business. Keep forging ahead. Maintain a startup-like drive and startup mindset so that you keep taking risk and expanding. Are you growing? You don't want to be complacent. Day one mindset. The next thing is what? What do you want to do? You want to start small, think big. Here's a Bezos quote. All businesses need to be young forever. If your customer base ages with you, you're worse. Start with a small problem and iterate to make it bigger. And we're always saying here, don't wait for the time to be perfect. Don't make excuses. Just get going, take the initiative, and take action. Why? Because your life can go by. Right? Some people start with a minimum viable product and they iterate it. He started with books, but then he grew and expanded. So the key is to get going and start with what you got. Whatever resources you have today, get going. Find a small problem, solve it. See problems as opportunities. And remember, he started in a garage. Now look at Amazon. There will be iterations. You can expand on risk-taking, Bezos. If you're going to take bold bets, they're going to be experiments. And if they're experiments, you don't know beforehand if they're going to work. Experiments are by their very nature prone to failure. But a few big successes compensate for dozens and dozens of things that didn't work. I think that's 100% true. By the way, I don't even see it as failure. I see that you're going to learn and grow from it. So if you start a business today, even if that one doesn't make it, you will learn and grow from it, right? You're going to learn things if you're putting your heart and soul and mind into it, right? And you're learning and growing. Let's say you're a filmmaker, making one bad film, you're going to learn from that. It's not the end of your career, it's the beginning. But you got to get going, right, and get that experience and learn. Pick up how do you become a better filmmaker? How do you become better at this? We're not going to know the outcomes. But what you can do is take action. And think about this. One large success, you could build a whole company around that and then expand from that. So you might have what you consider a disappointment, a failure. That might lead to another idea. It might lead to meeting the right person you need to have met that was working in that you can move to another area. You don't know what's going to come, but you got to be trying things, experimenting, doing things so that you can meet that person. Think of Kindle. Think of the amazing accomplishment, and there's Nook as well. But at 1 a.m. tonight, if I want, and I do this all the time, I can order a book instantly and have it. I don't have to wait for same-day delivery. I don't have to wait an hour. It's 1 a.m. Nothing's coming at 2 a.m. So with Kindle, which I have a lot of Kindle books, I can order something at 1 a.m. I do it all the time. Read it right then, that book that I want to read. And I order a lot of books. Or you can, you don't have to go to Barnes & Noble and wait and see if it's even in stock because it's probably not going to be in stock, or wait for the next day. So that's an amazing accomplishment of what? Delivery for the customer, instantly. Changing your life so you can learn and grow right tonight. There's a book on a company you want, you can order it right after we finish this and get to work on learning what you need to do to start it, or what information you need to do whatever it is your goal is. He's also gotten into AI. Let's go to the next quote, though. It's on customer-driven entrepreneurship. Quote, "The most important single thing is to focus obsessively on the customer," and here's the catch. "Our goal is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company." That is a goal, that is a vision, that is a mission statement. Our goal is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company, the Earth's. That's a large goal, and you can measure it, right? Do you have a clear vision? Have you written it down? Do you have a mission statement for your life, for your company? What are your goals for your company? Here's another quote on failure and experimenting. Embrace failure. Quote, "I've made billions of dollars of failures at Amazon.com, literally billions. Failure and invention are inseparable twins." Think about that one. Contemplate it. To invent, you have to experiment. And if you know in advance that it's going to work, it's not an experiment. End of quote. He tried Amazon Fire Phone, Amazon Destinations, Amazon pop-up stores, Amazon restaurants. You probably never even heard of them. It doesn't matter, right? Maybe something else. Maybe he met the right person for the next company at that. You don't know what opportunity or what you're going to learn from trying and failing. Or I don't even call it failing. You're experimenting, and then you're going to grow and learn. And remember, nobody's going to remember your experiments and your failures that didn't work out. What are they going to talk about? Kindle, Amazon Web Services, and all these wonderful products that are working, same-day delivery, the logistics that he's put together. So they're going to remember your successes. Long-term vision, Bezos. As an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time. If you can't handle that, you're not going to be able to build something new, right? Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your friends. But if you're a bold visionary, you're probably going to be questioned. People may say you may not be able to do that. So you have to push on if you know it's right. You have to push on if you know it's your passion. You have to push on if you know this can work. And try it so you don't have regrets, right? And keep the faith, even if you're hitting obstacles and adversity, because not only do you need the faith, you've got to build your team up, right? Steve Jobs was good at that. You got to build your team up and make them believe it. So you certainly have to believe it. Iterate and invent. Bezos. Good entrepreneurs are always working on the next thing. They're inventing and reinventing, asking this question. What do you think the question is? This is a key question. I love this one. What's next? Are you asking your team that question? Are you asking your friends that next? Are you having discussions on what's next, guys? What do you think is going to be next? What do you want? What do you value? What would be a good service? What would you want in customer service? What would you want next, right? What is next? What do we need to do next? What's the next product? You can do that for your goals, for your relationships, for your businesses. And think about this, continuing to have goals. Tom Cruise, the next Mission Impossible, they interviewed him. And they said, do you still have goals? And look at all that Tom Cruise has accomplished. I really respect him because he has a passion for what he does and he delivers. He really makes compelling stories. I think he's just an amazing producer and actor. And he still has goals. I just saw the interview the other day. He was like, you can tell he's still like the kid who has all these goals and dreams, right? He was like, well, I want to do action. I want to do adventure. I want to do this. I want to do that. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of goals, right? In that Tom Cruise way. So he's got many goals. And he said while he's on a film, he's working on the next film. So he's never stopping, right? So to go to Bezos, Tom Cruise is always asking himself, what's next? He's always working on what's next. While in the middle of Mission Impossible, they're working on the next one or another film. He's always working. That guy is dedicated and disciplined. Saw him at the producer conference. He just had this passion for making films. So they're doing AWS, AI integration, robotics, and what do they have next? They're working on pharmacy expansion, faster delivery, always trying to get better, right? Are you always trying to get better? And guess what franchise they have next? They have the opportunity to make the next James Bond franchise. And they are working on that. Streaming accounts for 13% of US desktop visits. They went into that, right? You've got movies on demand. You can watch them instantly tonight. Amazing, right? Now you're in a mood for a movie tonight. You don't have to wait. You don't have to order it. You don't have to buy it. You can get it instantly sent to you. And they're working on original content. Estimates are at over 175 million users on Amazon Prime in the US, and it's estimated at 220 million globally and still growing. All right, one more point. It was at this event in 2018, and he kind of paraphrased this. A day one company is one that doesn't let bureaucracy take over. You got to stay lean. You got to stay curious. And you got to act always, and this is his big thing. Do you do this in relationships and whatever your life? I think it's a good principle in your male friendships. Acting like you're just getting started so that you're constantly growing. Do you act in your business like you're just getting started? Because that's a large difference, right? That's very important. I think it would also keep the passion, and he's going to go into passion right here. Follow your passion. One of the huge mistakes people make is they try to force an interest on themselves. You don't choose your passions choose you. Now think about that and contemplate it. Go back to when you were a boy or a girl. What were your loves? What were your passions? Maybe that can be rekindled. Maybe you waited, or maybe you had to do other things. But what are your passions today? Maybe you have numerous ones. Maybe some won't work, some will. But what are they? Another quote on passion. It also drives, and Stephen Jobs agrees with this, effort, right? You have to be willing to be misunderstood if you're going to innovate. And that takes what? Passion for what you're doing. 100%. I really do believe in that. I believe you're going to study more, work harder if you have a passion for it. Love what you do. If you're not passionate about what it is you're working on, you're not going to be able to stick with it when things get tough. Jobs said that as well. I think that's true, right? Because you're going to have a lot of adversity, a lot of obstacles. You're going to have to overcome them. You're going to have to fire up your team. Things are going to go wrong. You might run out of money, and you're going to have to keep going. So if you have a passion for it, if that's your true love and passion, I think you can keep going and stick it out. Now, customer focus and passion. Bezos, the thing I'm most passionate about is making sure that we're inventing on behalf of customers. So he has a reason, a why. on why he's doing it. Why are they inventing? To make your experience better, to make the customer's experience better. That's what gets me up in the morning, he says. And that's a great thing, right? He's always coming back to what? That mission. He's got it down. And what is it? Customer, customer, customer. He's got the vision. Do you have a mission statement? Do you have it written down? Do you know why you're doing it? A big why is important. So he has a passion for his customers, and it has shown and grown his whole business. Vision and focus. We are stubborn on vision. We are flexible on details. Do you have a clear vision? Do you go over it weekly? Because you got to remind yourself, because people are going to try to knock you off. I guarantee you there are going to be some people with good intentions or bad intentions that are going to try and knock you out of your goals. Maybe your close friends, your parents, or somebody, but they might not believe in it. That's okay. You just keep going. But you have to maintain the vision, and you have to enable others to maintain that vision and make them believe it. I've seen it over and over where people are trying to change the vision or say, you can't, that can't be done. That's impossible, that's impossible. You got to think it's possible. Work-life balance. I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe in work-life harmony. If you're happy at work, you're better at home. And if you're happy at home, you're better at work, right? Makes sense? And I think it's true. If you're doing what you love and you're happy at work, you're going to come home happier. And if you're happier at home, you're going to the office happier, right? Decision making, Bezos. If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to do what? Double your inventiveness. And that's great, right? It gives you more opportunities for success. Customer-centric approach. Bezos, the best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, doesn't need to talk to you, it just works. Isn't that amazing? That's an amazing focus on the customers. Here's one on embracing the changes that may come in life or in your business. What we need to do is always lean into the future. When the world changes around you and when it changes against you, what used to be a tailwind is now a headwind. You have to lean into that and figure out what to do, because complaining isn't a strategy, right? You don't need to complain. You just need to figure out what you need to do and solve it and get to work and take the initiative on that problem and solve it. Solve a big problem, you can make a lot of money. Here's the next one. To be successful, you have to maintain high standards. You have to be rigorous and you have to be relentless in pursuing those standards, right? Chase excellence, Aristotle. You got to be disciplined and demand excellence of yourself and your teams, right? You got to drive that. And I'll end with this quote. I think it's a fantastic quote and so true. I knew that if I had failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not trying. Now ask yourself this. What could you regret if you don't take action on it, if you don't do it? Is there anything you do regret that you could get going on now? What can you take action on today? What's your day one dream? You can put it in the comments below. If you like this video, smash it, hit the like button. We appreciate you watching. And check out our other stories of more visionaries. I think we're either going to have Steve Jobs up or it's up. I'm not sure what the order is. Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, and a bunch of others. We try to add value. I hope we did. Thank you.